Fraser, we're back.
Yes, Callum.
You'll never guess where I've been this week.
Where?
Obviously people that are listening to this one see I'm wearing a pair of goggles because I've just came down here after a very intense team bonding session up at Loch Lomond. I've been swimming in the loch.
I had genuinely no idea where you were going with that. How was your swim, Callum? Did you see anyone? Did you meet anyone when you were there?
Yeah, there was a bunch of sort of angry looking guys over there. This guy had nice long hair and a beard, concerningly sort of stroking it, watching all the boys swim. But I had a great time when I was up there as well. Of course, I think the Rangers squad might have actually been some of those guys.
Should you not have been working, Callum? Should you be spending your time swimming in Loch Lomond? Should you not be bettering yourself, trying to improve on yourself, rather than just messing around in Loch Lomond?
Well, we'll come on to this, I'm sure, but I feel it's very important to be happy in what you're doing and enjoying it as well. So I was up there and I'll tell you what, Fraser, because this episode is going to be, sorry, I've got to adjust this a little bit. This episode is going to be managers with the most approved in the SPFL. So we are going to touch on Russell Martin, believe it or not.
Managers underwater.
Managers underwater, yeah. Pretty much, yeah. The house is flooding for Russell Martin. So we'll be touching on that in a bit. But I'll tell you what, Fraser, this is my point. I'm going to come in hot today, all right?
You already
I have came in hot. Every episode starts hot around here. I've never been that fussed about, like another team sort of winning the Scottish Premiership. If Hearts did it one day, for example, I'd be like, cool. I'd be happy to see it. A bit of difference. Once the dust settled out, I wouldn't be that fussed. Right now, Fraser, I'd love to see it. I'll tell you that. I'd love to see someone come in and just quiet everyone down a bit, because recently Celtic Rangers fans have been imploding, and it's been brilliant to watch. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. This whole Russell Martin thing's been a bit embarrassing. Then I was watching like a Blair McNally clip outside of Kilmarnock last week as well, talking to the Celtic fans who are all fuming because they've only won 5 trebles in the last 10 years. They're only top of the league, undefeated, in the league as well. It must be terrible, So yeah, I'm loving it at the minute.
You're loving it.
I've never been that fussed in the past. I'm just loving how it's just getting a bit embarrassing, I think, from everyone. So
yeah, there's a lot of heated opinions going on throughout Glasgow. I don't love seeing them being rubbish.
Neither do I usually. It's just
I was the
reaction to
Hearts or Aberdeen or Ayr United to come in and beat a full strength Celtic and Rangers. But is it a wee bit funny to see them floundering a little bit? Yes, of course it is.
Honestly, I don't take much out of it. Usually, previous years, it's just been the reaction, especially this year. Yeah. This year especially, the reaction has been hilarious, how big it's been. So I'm quite happy to see a bit of a downfall at this moment in time. And welcome to Scottish football, to Celtic and Rangers fans. What's wrong with that?
Exactly.
We were going to have Ayr and Fraser on this week as well. This is almost paying homage to him as well. He's been cool.
You are coming in.
Well, he loves his classes.
He does. Yeah, the speckiest guy in Scottish football.
I love that. So, but for everyone else, Scottish football, it's a fun place. Come on in, welcome along, Celtic and Rangers fans. It's a bit of a spot. You know what, Rangers fans? I'll give them their credit. They've had their run of the mill of Scottish football. Yeah. Celtic fans, come on down, have a bit of fun. It's a laugh. It's character building.
And they're not even
something you're familiar with as well. Character building.
I love that character building. Yeah. But the thing is with Celtic fans, they're not even experiencing the real thing. They're still at top of the league or second in the league, whatever they are. Their crisis is that they've only spent 15 million this summer or something.
It's terrible.
But I have seen. Have you seen Pine Bovril taking on Celtic fans on Twitter?
I've not seen much of it now.
He's been tweeting and back and forth with Celtic fans saying, very much to the same line as yourself, it must be terrible being a Celtic fan when they've only won 19 of the last 22 trophies or whatever. You won't be able to see on the camera, but Callum's blinking. I don't think you quite realise how tight they are. When you take them off,
these are really tight.
You're going to have
my brain's about to pop out of my head here.
You're going to have red rings around your eyes for the rest of the episode. I hope you're okay with that.
That's fine, but
maybe you just keep them on for the whole episode. But
like a zombie.
But the guy at Pine Bovril, I don't know. He's the Mr. Pie, whoever he is.
Mr. Pie, shout out.
He has been taking them on, and then all Celtic fans are going, yeah, well, I'm so sorry for wanting my club to be better, and you're like, so I'm not sure. They make compelling points, and then I giggle at the Pine Bovril tweet every time, and I'm like, oh yeah, come on, have a bit of perspective.
I wouldn't knock a Celtic fan for what they're saying, because it's it's pretty much all true. And they have a point. But also, as I say, just welcome to Scottish football. You know, it's a laugh. It's a good place to be.
Exactly.
You know, come along for the journey. You don't have to win every week.
Yeah.
You enjoy more when you do, you know. So
exactly. Europa League's better than Champions League anyway.
You've got more chance of winning. I mean, I'd take any game in that. You know, I'd kill to see my team play.
Yeah.
Actually, this isn't a rant. I'm wanting to go down here. We're having a laugh because everyone's expense. I'm going to take these off because I'm a bit worried as well.
I'm excited to see this.
It might look a bit like I'm sort of paying tribute to Dunfermline teenage sensation Andrew Todd after his hat-trick against Arbroath this weekend.
Not just a hat-trick and an assist. Wow.
Hat-trick and a very nice assist as well. So I'm not actually paying credit to him.
The hander, you're right. Oh, he's got the red marks.
Yeah. I might look like a Celtic board member now. Just woken up from my coma or something like that. But, yeah.
Nocturnal.
Not pulling it off. So I don't know how Edgar Davids and the likes did it, but Andrew Todd's got to be going up the ranks of goggled players already, doesn't he?
Oh, they might be slightly different to my swimming goggles, to be fair. They might be a wee bit more sort of football friendly.
I presume he's not just cutting around swimming goggles, because I know it rains a lot in Arbroath. that'd be extreme. Who's got to be the best goggled players? Edgar Davids, sort of. There's not too many, is there?
Anyone else? Andrew Todd and Edgar Davids so far.
I know, quite a lot.
Who wins in that fight?
I think Roberto Firmino used to train in them, but
did he?
Yeah. Well, I think he had an eye injury once, so you can find a picture of Roberto Firmino. But I think Andrew Todd's actually done more for spectacled footballers than Roberto Firmino already. So,
I mean, it really does. It's one of those things. Growing up playing football, I never had to worry about. But imagine wearing glasses and then you either go contacts or you go goggles. I don't know what I would do.
Blind.
It's like, do you wear a suit or do you wear a trackie if you're a manager? Do you wear goggles or do you wear contacts if you're specky?
Yeah.
I've been neither so far, so I don't know, but I'd like to think I'd be a goggled manager with a suit on.
Yeah, you
on the
know.
side of the pitch. That's right.
Yeah, fair play. It takes a bit of confidence. They might get knocked off every now and then by Joga Bonito guests, Lewis Stevenson, but other than that, good to see him back playing and scoring hat-tricks, I guess, for him. So
Exactly.
So, Fraser, should we jump into the episode then?
Can I just give a wee shout out to my t-shirt, Callum?
Oh my goodness, of course you can.
Sorry, just to...
I was actually going to touch on that. I need a list of things for these introductions.
Well, when we get our big budget, when we go big time, we'll have the cue cards that Graham Norton has. You know, he'll have, and he'll throw, you know, you'll have like 15, you can throw them away once you've read one sentence. But regardless...
You're sitting back for this, yeah.
Well, I need to actually, I've got my wee street soccer top on.
Yeah, why don't you give us a spin? So Fraser's wearing a shirt that he picked up last week at the Kitback Party in Glasgow, which was a fantastic event. Shout out to... You can see it. It's. Do you want me to sort of pull that for you? So this is terrible audio of people listening on Spotify. But
well, describe it.
Oh, all right.
Describe it. It's in collaboration with Timorous Beastie, which you can find on Great Western Road.
Okay. You can turn around now, I think.
In Hillhead, not Hillhead. Kilburn Bridge.
Well, it's a white t-shirt, lovely design on the back.
No, it's really nice.
Got Piper on it.
Yeah. In collaboration with Street Soccer and Timorous Beastie, and I was quite lucky, Cal.
Yes. So last week we were at the Kitback event, and at sort of half time of the event, I suppose they were up on stage doing a bit of a chat with Derek Ferguson, Jerry, and David Duke, of course. So and after that there was a raffle, wasn't there, Fraser? There was a quite big crowd at this as well. Everyone got tickets on the way in for donating a shirt. I dropped off an old Sweden shirt I had for the Kitback. So maybe looking Kitback, you might be able to find it online if you want to buy a Sweden away shirt from 2016. Cash donation as well. Fraser came in with quite a lot of raffle tickets. And 3 prizes. The first one went to a lucky winner.
A gala dinner as well, which is a big one.
Hope they enjoy that.
That was the biggest one. But still...
2 more come out after that. Does Fraser win one of them? No, he doesn't. He wins them both. I'd never seen anything like it.
Neither did I, to be honest. I can't remember the last time I'd won anything in a raffle. And first one, I don't even know. I won that many things that I don't know in what order each gift came or each prize came. But first prize, let's just say the first strip was for a £50 voucher, which I thought, that's brilliant. But that wasn't it.
That wasn't it.
I got a £50 voucher, and then I was told that I got a goodie bag and a free t-shirt alongside that. So I've got this beauty of a top in collaboration with Timorous Beastie.
You spent your £50 yet?
No, I haven't. I was taking a wee look. I did have my eye on the £249.99 Scotland long sleeve strip from I think 1992. So I think I had number 16. Not quite sure. Was it 16?
Main condition that as well.
That was a gorgeous. Can I stretch my budget to that? I'm not sure, but that was gorgeous. So I was looking at that thinking,
199.99 to you.
True. I was looking at it thinking, if it's 79.99, you know, happily I'll make up the difference. Then looked at the label, 250. So I'm not sure, but I had a wee look. I didn't want to rush into any decisions just yet though, so I'm going to have a look online, and I'm sure I will, whether or not I use it for myself or somebody else. I'm not sure, but I'll use it at some point. And then got this, and then some stickers as well, which actually I should have had on my laptop.
Not prepped in.
Not prepped enough.
That's funny. We're there with our little friend Luke Maguire as well, who previously bought a kit back shirt, which he wore on the podcast as well in a previous episode, which he thought about wearing along. And I said, as soon as we got there, he said to me he was thinking about wearing it. I was like, thank God he didn't, because everyone would have been coming up to you asking where the toilets were, where can I pay, because the guy's working there. Like Cameron had his kitback shirt on, which made sense because he was working there. I said, Luke, thank God you didn't wear that. It's nice. It is a very nice t-shirt, but
Luke would have done that with aplomb. He would have shown everyone where to go.
He would have just accepted his fate as an employee.
But then, I'll finish this really boring story. On to prize number 2, Callum. Cameron came up with a crate of beer, 24 cans, which I don't know if, I'm sure that our viewers will understand that's quite a heavy weight, especially when there's no handle.
Tall cans as well?
Tall cans.
What the Americans call a long boy?
There was 24
or is it a tall boy? I don't know. It's a long boy or a tall boy, something like that.
24 of them.
24 tall boys.
Brilliant.
Long boys.
Hales Lager, gorgeous. But Leaf.
House.
Yeah, really nice.
A green can.
Are they green?
Green and white, yeah.
Well, so we had to then lug them through Glasgow, which is not a complaint by any means. We could have done with a little handle on it. We were taking it turns. We walked from the Barrowlands all the way across to the centre of Glasgow, which is not too far, but when you've got 24 long boys in your grasp with no handle, it's uncomfortable, shall we say. There's no way you can look cool doing that.
No,
so
not really, no.
We took it in turns looking a bit stupid, but we got them. Smuggled them into the bag.
Under a table.
Yeah. Thought we weren't going to get in, but we got in, and then I'd obviously won this prize, so I thought, and you love a little Hales Lager, don't you?
That was lovely.
You and Patrick, your flatmate, your good friend and long friend of the pod.
Long friend of the pod, yeah.
Another long boy. I thought you two.
Pause there, yeah.
Thought you two would appreciate it. So, and you did. You took it home. You tasted it. Have you had any more since?
I had quite a few actually.
Yeah.
I've been working quite long shifts the last couple of days, so I've came in and had a couple cans after both my shifts, which has been
cold or warm.
Chilled, of course, which has been lovely, nice and refreshing. I've never seen someone win a raffle as more as your girlfriend Gemma wins a raffle, and just the look of like devastation. Derek Ferguson pulls it out. She's like, oh, fuck, we've won again. She's like so guilty that you'd won twice. Yeah. Which, to be fair, I think I would have reacted the same, but she sort of stood there like didn't want to put a hand up, and you were like, you nervously just went, yeah, we've won again.
Yeah, well, I was trying to be like, you put your hand up, because it'll look bad if I've got my hand up again. So I was like, you put your hand up, and I've already gone.
I can't blame her though. It's a bit awkward. But anyway, not complaining because I took these beers home. A bit more of a hoppy beer, sort of. It's not an IPA, but it has IPA tendencies to it. I don't know.
Crafty tendencies.
It's quite crafty tendency.
Craft beer.
I'm quite basic with my beers. I do like a Tennent's and that. You know that I love a Tennent's. Nothing wrong with that. Basic lager. This has a bit more some fruity tones to it for a lager, but
well, Callum,
I'm very much enjoying them. So thank you very much for that.
Well, as you know, I'm working in a pub at the moment. Joga Bonito, Guy. Shout out to them. And they love that. There's all these hoppy beers and that. It's an education since I've started there, so I've become a little bit more accustomed to a more hoppier beer.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll need to.
I'm enjoying it.
If you can save me one, I'll try it next time I'm in the Stirling area.
No promises.
Is it FK?
It is the FK region.
The FK region. Yeah. Then I'll try one. But no, I'm glad you enjoyed them. And,
okay. Well, might not be around for too long, but.
And shout out to Kitback, 500 kits donated. Did you see that?
Was it 500?
I'm sure.
Really good event. Really enjoyed that.
It was a large number anyway. Whether it was 500, I'm sure it's 500. So, great event, good guys, and
Brian Graham was there.
He was, yeah.
Big times, yeah.
Look, got a chat with him.
Look, did, of course he did.
Yeah, but they're on first name terms, of course. So.
Well,
We're not quite there yet. He's BG9 to us.
Sure. Yeah. But anyway, brilliant event and a lovely t-shirt.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Right. Should we jump into the episode
We
then?
probably should. Yeah.
Right, run the intro.
You're a long way from home. This is Brazil.
James McFadden scores for Scotland. The afternoon belongs to Lewis Vaughan. Make it 3. It's 3-0. An absolute classic from Stephen Kingsley. Jubilated, Bob McHugh. It had to be him.
So, Fraser, for this segment coming up then, we're going to do what has been a bit of a tradition here at Joga Bonito over the last week, where we're going to pick one from each of the 4 divisions.
Nice.
I think that's how we're going to run on with a format ongoing here.
Yeah, I like that.
Experiment with things, so a bit of everything. Now, we're going to start off with the Premiership. There's a couple of contenders here. Obviously, Stephen Presley's had a fair bit to prove when he came into the Dundee job. But pound for pound, I think possibly in the entire SPFL right now, Russell Martin's. And I'm saying pound for pound in terms of even the size of the club, just how bad the situation is.
Yeah.
Aberdeen at the bottom of the table as well, looking quite concerning. But Jim Tulleen maybe doesn't have too much to prove. He's already won a cup at Aberdeen. You know, he does have a bit of pressure on him now. He'd probably be the man if it wasn't for Russell Martin. But Rangers, we come into this chat then after a 2-0 loss, to give a bit of backstory to this as well. A 2-0 loss at home against Heart of Midlothian. And not just a 2-0 loss, but certainly a game where Hearts turned up and look like the better team, which we've seen Hearts go to, you know, the Old Firm win before, but probably not quite that comfortably. Lawrence Shankland, the man that could have been wearing the blue of Rangers as well himself, scoring both the goals in that game, and was a brilliant sort of striker performance from him as well. Led the line fantastically. That leaves Hearts second in the league, just behind Celtic in goal difference. Rangers, though, almost propping up the division, down in 10th position. Just Dundee and Aberdeen have picked up less points. 4 on the board, 5 games in, 0 wins. Russell Martin, a man that, you know, I think we're both quite, I don't know if the word's happy or
Supportive
of his appointment at Rangers, but
yeah.
certainly the wheels have gone off the bus, if they were ever on them.
They are. It's a weird one. It's a really weird one. I don't know. I really, really like him, and so I really want him to succeed. But I also, you know, it's thrown a cat among the pigeons. If someone else can come second this year or even win the league, then I'd love to see that. So it's always interesting when one of the Glasgow clubs is sort of floundering a wee bit. It mixes things up a bit. But yeah, Rangers at the moment. I mean, if you take the context, 4 draws. Okay, no, I can't excuse that. It's not brilliant. And had they played well in their first 4 games and picked up wins, to lose at home to Hearts the way that Hearts are playing at the moment and the way they've started the season and the signings that they've made wouldn't be catastrophic, but in the context of the start to the season, it is kind of catastrophic. And
especially the fashion of it, though, possibly more than anything. It's not like Hearts have gone there and picked up a scrappy result. They've gone there and, sure, there was a couple moments where Hearts maybe got rubbed the green a little bit, like I don't know if you saw the foul on Swallow in goal for Hearts was a bit soft, possibly the right decision in the end, but so, you know, could have went another way, how you look at it as well. But at the same time, I don't think any Rangers fan would walk out of Ibrox. Most of them left quite early, to be honest, as well, but would walk away from whenever they left Ibrox, you know, before full time or after full time, and say Hearts just didn't deserve the result, you know?
Yeah, no, I think they did go down with a little bit of a whimper, and there's just obviously something not clicking there, because Russell Martin, obviously, he's got his principles and he's got a great CV at the teams that he's managed previously. It just isn't working, but I can't quite understand why. I don't know. I've not watched many Rangers games this season, but
so what gives Russell Martin a good CV to jump in there? Sorry, quickly, because I agree. I like the appointment coming into it, but I'd say a lot of the sort of, you know, mainstream media that you see talking about it when things are quite reactionary, you hear the line a lot, what's Russell Martin done to deserve to be the Rangers manager? What would you sort of say to that?
Well, if you look at sort of MK Dons, Swansea City, Southampton, every single team I think he's managed, he's gone in, he's changed their style of play, implemented his style of play, his philosophies, and he's taken the team from where they started to a better place to where he left them. Arguably Southampton, maybe not, but he took on the job of Southampton in the Championship and took them to the Premier League had he been given more time, would he have done better? Was it Ruben Selles, was it, that took over from him? Can't remember exactly. But whoever, like Southampton didn't kick on when he left, and they didn't really have the personnel to lay a glove on the established Premier League team. So, okay, they didn't have a great start to the Premier League season, but pretty much at every stage in his managerial career, Russell Martin has improved. He does sort of live and die by his principles, and I think potentially that's maybe his downfall at this point in time, and I think at times it frustrated fans of his previous clubs. But if you speak to anyone, Swansea City, and I think MK Dons in particular, I mean, at MK Dons, he totally transformed the way they played. Swansea City took them forward. Southampton took them up. I think he will do the same with Rangers. I watched him against Victoria Pilts in the Europa League qualifier or Champions League qualifiers. I can't remember exactly when now, but that was at Ibrox, and they were fantastic. And they had Antman and Gassama, just direct, looked brilliant. And I think that's the Rangers that's when I think he made the decision not to start Tavernier. And maybe even Raskin as well. And everyone in the Rangers support was saying that was the high point of his career, Rangers career so far. And the fans were saying it's brilliant. He's got balls. He was willing to, put his job on the line, or put his principles on the line. Didn't matter, about starting the big names, and he got it right. So it's just since then it's gone completely backwards. But they've got potential. They've got good players. I mean, Taylor Osgaard for Norway scored 2 or 3 goals, I think, against Moldova.
11, yeah.
But regardless, he's playing in a team with some genuine quality in attack there. He's got obviously genuine quality himself. Bojan Miovski, once he gets firing for Rangers, will do.
Well, I don't think there's any questioning the talent in there as well. But so touching on Russell Martin, the clubs he's been at, then to sort of jump back to what you said, then he has done well at the clubs he's been at, but they all seem. I think Southampton's probably a very nice place to be a football manager. I don't think you've got the same pouring of pressure probably coming in from the stands that you will do at Rangers, who are one of the biggest clubs, in the UK, but anywhere you'd find there's not many clubs you have that pressure that you do at Rangers, and maybe you get the time to embed it in. And as soon as Russell Martin got up to the Premier League, it did then seem to be a bit too much with the pressure, the way people speak to him in interviews, question his philosophy, and it really backfired. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being disciplined. I really like, someone that comes in principle. Look at Ange Postecoglou when he came in at Celtic. Obviously, you're kind of looking a bit more of an extreme here, but remember Celtic losing at Tynecastle very under early Ange Postecoglou, and people thinking this guy's came up with big ideas and something to stick to, and it looks like a bit of a joke at the minute, but then obviously very quickly turned it around and had a fantastic spell. But right now of Rangers, it does seem like a kind of horrible place to go play football for a home player, which isn't what Rangers fans want it to be, but that's just what it's became. And this isn't a new issue though. This went back to last season, and you heard Barry Ferguson talk about it and his coaching team as well, who had some good results in there as well. It was Fenerbahce in Europe, was it? Yeah, they obviously beat, and we've seen Tottenham, Rangers play Tottenham as well, not too long ago as well, and take them on toe for toe as well. I'm not questioning the quality of their players for a second, but there's something about playing at Ibrox that just seems really difficult. I think Barry Ferguson won 2-7 or something like that at Ibrox. It wasn't a great record, and this is going back a long time. This is going back before Russell Martin. That goes back before Ferguson as well. It goes back to Clement's reign as well, where Ibrox, when it's rocking, is probably one of the best places in Europe, hands down, to play football. European game day, and you probably turn up to Ibrox and have confidence flowing through you like that Europa League run. But right now, it's the opposite. Yeah,
it is toxic, and I think it's not unique to Ibrox. If Celtic were on a similar run just now and they were transitioning with a new manager, it would be the same. Mm-hmm. You see, even at Somerset Park on a Saturday, with the expectations that Ayr United have set themselves.
It's a little bit of a stretch there, but I see the point.
But there's a lot less fans, but they still can get equally as toxic if the football's not to what they have come to expect in the last few years. So it's not unique to Ibrox, to Rangers, but there just really is a toxicity particularly right now, and I don't think anyone expected that Russell Martin was going to come in and, you know, Rangers were going to be on 15 points out of 15, having scored 20 goals and conceded none. No one thought that was going to be the case. They've had a particularly bad start to the season, but I don't think when they're bedding new players in and new principles, it won't help at all. But I can totally understand why the atmosphere has been the way it has been. It's just difficult. I think we were discussing before, do we think that he can turn it around? And possibly now we think that maybe he can't. But listening to his press conference this week, he was asked questions about, you know, his trip to Loch Lomond, which you so beautifully paid homage to. I don't see for me personally, if that was my team, I was a Rangers fan, I would be all for it. Like, something different needs to change, or needs to happen. And if that's going and doing a team bonding session and dunking the boys in Loch Lomond and just getting them a bit closer in that way, then fair enough. I don't buy into this whole, like, you've got to be depressed if you've lost and you've got to lock yourself away in your living room and go to training only. So I like he came back sort of punching a wee bit, saying that, you know, they're gonna keep going and that they were trying out things at Loch Lomond. I don't know whether or not it's going to pay off in the future. I'm not sure, but I think it will. There's no way that they're not going to continue this form. They're not going to, you know, not win in 5 again this season probably. So it'll turn. Just when it does, I'm not sure.
Yeah. So Loch Lomond trip obviously publicised. I think you know, we both agree on that. I don't think it's that big a story, really. You can see it's a bit of a headline grabber, but you can obviously see why they've done it. I think it's you know, a large part of that group's new players, guys coming in from different cultures as well. You know, such an international squad at Rangers these days as well, and it's probably not like, you know, the older days for a lot of players when, you know, a night out for something like that, go out for a few drinks, you know, after a game, whatever. Firstly, Rangers players can't even do that. You know, they can really. This is probably the sad thing for them as well in their life right now, where they probably can't even show their face, you know, around town, and it makes things a bit difficult for them. So going away and seeing each other in a different group, we were talking obviously off camera as well when I was like at obviously a very different thing, but I was at the Caledonian Braves and pre-season last year. Ricky, the manager, took the squad up to Aviemore, and they played a friendly on the Friday, and then, you know, like a couple of drinks on the Saturday and a team bonding, abseiling and all that. And, you know, I was lucky enough to be up there with them as well. And really, what I think the thing was seeing the guys in a different environment, a bit out of their comfort zone as well. It's different to everyone. It's a bit like a school trip, you know, really, more than anything. And what a brilliant opportunity just to get to know the guys as well. You know, some of the Rangers players have came in, and you never know, there might be a bit little groups, you know, different cultures stick together, but they all need to be in it together, don't they? Yeah. More than anything. So fine with that as well, you know. Will it help things out? Possibly. I think there's nothing. I really think tactics go out the window. I don't think tactics have anything to do with what's, you know, going on at Rangers. It's not the difference of playing a 4-2-3-1 and a 4-3-3. It doesn't mean anything. If the players are getting the ball, obviously a huge part of Russell Martin's play is the centre back start the play coming out from the back, and, you know, we know more about, you know, John Souttar, for example, you know, 3 other defenders back there with him at times, or James Tavernier. We know John Souttar's capable of doing that, you know, in a Scottish Premiership game, coming out the ball and finding a pass. However, you also need to have the confidence to do it, and they look devoid of that right now. And if you're on the ball and feeling anxious, and the 2 players in front of him, Connor Barron, Diomande, good players as well. I think Diomande, we've seen him play live before as well and look like the best player on the pitch in an old firm. You know, I think we both said that in the Scottish Cup final, where he looked so talented. But again, the midfielders don't look like they want to drop in and pick up the ball. If you watched how they played against Hearts, that's not right, and that's not tactics. It's nothing to do with that at that point at all. If you want to play passing football, the guys need to be brave, pass on, you know, zip it about as well with pace, and you're just not seeing that. And if you're a centre back at Ibrox and the fans, every time it's passed short, again a bit on your back. That happens at any level as well. Yeah. So I don't think it's tactics.
No, I guess the argument could be players are not wanting to drop in and get the ball because they, you know, those are the tactics, and it's putting them in position where they're losing the ball, and then that's so potentially maybe you could say, well, if they can just move away from his principles for a while, get some points on the board, proper points on the board, and then they can start establishing. But Russell Martin's never going to do that.
Yeah.
There's the added pressure this weekend. I think Andrew Kavanagh's up. Russell Martin said that he was aware of that and has been for a few weeks, but there's the headlines coming from that is his job on a sugary peg. Well, it possibly is on a sugary peg. I think they've said from sort of the line coming out from Rangers is that his job's secure, he's fine, but there will be, the fans are protesting, especially now that Andrew Kavanagh is going to be up at the weekend watching the game, probably at training as well. There will be suggestions that he's there to make a decision. So I think Russell Martin right now, out of all of the leagues in Scotland, all of the managers, I think he definitely has the most to prove, and I don't think he's got too many draws or losses left in the bank. I think they've got a big opportunity. You could argue, I think Chris Boyd has conceded to Chris Sutton that Rangers they're out of the title race. So if Rangers are going to want to win silverware this year, they're going to have to look to the League Cup and the Scottish Cup, and they've got a big game at the weekend. So I think there's very few Rangers fans that will give Russell Martin a chance if Hibs go and win that game at the weekend. So
yeah, well, we should have started off as well saying this is a Friday recording, which is always a bit risky. This could be out on Sunday. By this time, any four of the managers we've spoken about, well, maybe not, but I mean, hypothetically, they could be out of a job and the games have been played. We never know what's going to happen. So this could be all a sort of a hypothetical conversation from beforehand. But I do agree. Huge game. Hibs, who obviously, I think they're floundering a little bit, but obviously are a really good team as well. And they'll be really confident of their chances in that game. So that'll be a really entertaining match. But yeah, I think to finish off on the Rangers chat then, if Russell Martin's gone, you're left with a squad of 25 to 30, however big the Rangers first team squad's going to be. Players that are probably going to be a bit shell shocked from the experience, and another manager comes in, picks up the pieces. Probably, I don't see it really working out that way. I think either way, it's probably, if we're giving personal opinion here, it's probably worth giving him a bit more time and see what happens, because what is this alternative? Rangers fans just chucking the name Jose Mourinho out there on the back of one interview from last year. That was kind of like their hope and the alternative. He's obviously gone and got the Benfica job now anyway, but I don't see why that was beneficial to anyone. Steven Gerrard as well, 1 trophy in 9, or something like that during his time as Rangers manager. If he's the answer, why wasn't he the answer this summer when he was available as well? I don't think the answer's that easy to find. I think it's a wholesale change that's really needed.
Yeah, well, they've gone almost for a wholesale change, Rangers. This summer they've obviously got new ownership, new manager, a lot of new signings, new style of play. They're trying to change something. I think I really do want Russell Martin to do well, because I do like him. And I know I'm not a Rangers fan, so it's easy for me to sit here and say, chill everyone, sit back. they'll come good. But I do think if Rangers can get a win against Hibs, who are one of the form teams in Scotland, it's a huge confidence booster. It puts them into a semi-final of the League Cup, and then they go in, they've got Genk at home in the Europa League. That's Rangers, that's a guaranteed 3-0 win for Rangers. They just love that competition. I think that's the best possible game for Russell Martin. It kind of takes him out the pressure cooker of Scottish football in the league. They've got a clean slate, and they do seem Genk, very good team, and they've got that wonder kid Kiretsas.
Oh yeah, don't say that name.
I know. He is a proper good footballer though, so I'll be interested to watch him against Rangers. But I think that's a really good opportunity for Russell Martin. It's a clean slate there's just something within the culture of that club that the minute it's a Thursday night and they're playing in the Europa League, that they're a different animal. So I don't know, we could be, I guess in a week's time we could be sitting here discussing who the next Rangers manager is going to be, but also in a week's time we could be looking at Rangers up 3 points on the board in Europe and through to a semi-final in the League Cup. And if they do that, then I think Russell Martin will be fine and will begin to pick up points. But that's all hypotheticals. I think there's something there. I really like him as a manager, and they have the players. There's no doubt about it. Whether or not they're playing in the right positions at the right time is a different thing. But They've got genuine quality in attack. They've got a pretty solid back line. Jack Butland's a fantastic goalkeeper when he's in good form. And then you've got some really good midfielders. And if Nico Raskin and Russell Martin can shake hands and kiss and make up, then they've got a really, really Premier League quality midfielder in there as well. So I don't think there's any issues personnel-wise. It's just something's amiss. I think if it clicks and when it clicks, Rangers will be fine.
Yeah, well, I think that's something. That if is it's a big one. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. Best of luck to Russell Martin, I suppose. This episode wasn't meant to be a mental health check on Russell Martin, but I'm sure he'd probably like to be able to walk the dog around the park or go for a pint down the local without having to worry about who's shouting abuse at him. So
well, he shouldn't have taken the Rangers job.
That's true as well. So best of luck to him with that.
that.
Should we move on to the Scottish Championship?
Yes.
Right. Our team in the Scottish Championship, as you can probably tell by Fraser's reaction just a moment ago, the shirt behind him on the wall is Ayr United. So Ayr United come into this, making sure you can see it.
I'm just
getting a proper view of it.
Lovely kit, by the way.
It is very nice. But the team wearing it haven't had the greatest start of the season. Similarly to our last team, 4 draws and a loss to start of the season. So it's not been disastrous, getting pumped every week, but it has been a concerning start to the season for Scott Brown's men, who come into this chat after a 1-1 draw on the weekend. So it was Ethan Walker that scored the goal early on. Nice finish from a Dylan Watcher at cutback, who's a brilliant player, of course, as well. We spoke about Dylan Watcher before. But that would be levelled up by a familiar face coming back to haunt you guys. Who else was going to score? But Jay Henderson, who himself scored a nice goal. Curtis Main did give you a bit of hope when he put the ball in the back of the net, but that was ruled out for offside. And ultimately, the points were split between Ayr United and Ross County. Ross County themselves would be a team with a manager with a little bit to prove as well, but we'll give him a bit more time because he's only a couple games through the door as Tony Docherty. Don Cowie is well gone, though. He would have been the man that we'd be talking about here. But Scott Brown instead takes that mantle. Fraser, your beloved Ayr United, a bit of a slow start to the season, high expectations from the fans at Somerset Park these days. And that's probably a bit of a victim of their own success, potentially in some ways, but also it has been a bit of a floundering start to the season after a good League Cup group stage campaign. Fraser, what's your thoughts on Ayr United?
It's difficult because we were talking about managers, that are going through a sticky period and who have a point to prove. My opinion on Scott Brown has fluctuated, I have to say. Currently, I think he's absolutely fine. Ayr are moving in the right direction. Okay, they've had a poor start, and I would have liked to have seen them up in, the way Raith Rovers and Partick Thistle have started the season. That's kind of where I saw Ayr United being. But if you take each game in isolation, Ayr have been fine. They've lacked cutting edge. They've not had the X factor that we've had in recent seasons. But there are factors, there's reasons for that. And giving Scott Brown the benefit of the doubt, you've got players, big players. Kevin Holt's been out, in and out, injured. Sean Want, injured. Ben Dempsey, Anton Dowds haven't even been in the squad until recent weeks.
This is sounding like Scott Brown post-match interview. This is crazy. Right.
So all I'm saying is I think Ayr United are fine. They looked really good against Ross County, and I think with big players coming back and the squad deepening as a result, I think Ayr are doing okay.
Fair bit of pressure on him though. You see the reaction. Obviously, you're a bit closer with Ayr than I am, but I was at Somerset Park, game day 2 of the season. No matter what was happening, there was a lot of shouts coming in from the stands of frustration towards Scott Brown. Obviously, we did see things boil a bit over as well in recent times of interviews, and that was addressed by the club. You never want to see that go too far, direct towards the board who are doing a lot of good work. But most of the chat about Ayr that's positive seems to be stuff going on off the park. And when it gets to on the park, there's not too much promising stuff going on right now. And as I say, a lot of vitriol towards Scott Brown when I was at Somerset Park. He was getting a fair bit of stick. You see it on social media after a lot of the games as well, and just doesn't really feel like the fans are pulling behind him at this moment in time into his 3rd season as a United manager and not too much of an identity on the pitch.
Yeah, I think, and you are right, and I'm one of the fans, I'll hold my hands up, that has questioned a few of his decisions. I've spoken previously, particularly the second leg playoff match at Somerset against Partick Thistle. I will forever question his approach to that game. And and the personnel on the pitch. However, on the whole, Scott Brown's taken Ayr United forward, and I think he will take us forward again this season once we get going. Again, you were at the Wraith match. There wasn't much in that. That was a mistake from David Mitchell. I think Wraith were probably quite comfortable, but Ayr United in the second half came back into that, and had they grabbed an equaliser, it probably would have been fair result. Is that your...
I think Wraith, I do honestly think it was like quite a comfortable 1-0, and I say that despite the fact Josh Ray made an excellent double save in that game. It's what Wraith do. They do good win games like that, and I felt it was quite comfortable. I was very happy with how Ayr were playing. There was a lot of passing out from the back, but not leading anywhere at all in the way Wraith play. It just fed into Wraith's hands as well, and sort of that high press you see from Wraith winning the second balls. The goal comes in a minute, and it was unbelievably predictable when you watch it back. What happened, why it happened, and I just wasn't impressed by Ayr for a team with a lot of talented players. So I don't think there was too much going on. Yeah,
and I can understand that, but they do have a lot of talented players, and if you look at our bench from the weekend against Ross County, Stuart Bannigan, Marco Roos, and Dom Thomas. Sorry, took me a second there.
I wonder why your manager's putting them on the bench though.
Well, exactly. But they started on the bench, didn't even come on. So.
Which is crazy that you're trying to win a championship game of football, you've got Dom Thomas on the bench. It's not the first time this has happened this season already. Scott Brown's not decided to use Dom Thomas on the bench because he was back to the transfer window. Dom Thomas would have been one of those players where you put a bit of a financial outlay. I'm pure speculation that I'd imagine he's on a decent wage for a championship player, because almost every championship team would like to have Dom Thomas. Not even getting on off the bench.
I know, and that's where there's obviously something going on. You know, Scott Brown won't be happy with his application and training, whether he fits into his sort of system. I'm not sure. Personally, I'd be starting Dom Thomas in every match, but obviously I'm not Scott Brown. Ethan Walker popped up with a goal in the second minute, so you know that's probably in the position that Dom Thomas would have been in if he was playing. So it's hard to kind of argue with that. We've got the squad, we've got the personnel, and I think once you get all the players back in, Anton Dowes, I think George Oakley, I know you're a massive fan, Curtis Main, you know, he's got good pedigree. These are good strikers. Do they have the goal scoring ability that I think Anton Dowes has, or the mobility that Anton Dowes had? Not quite. So I think now that we've got Anton Dowes back, getting minutes in the legs, he's not going to probably be starting for a few weeks, but once he is, I think we'll be fine. And with the midfield players that Ayr United have, and Ben Dempsey in particular, you're possibly Ben Dempsey's biggest fan, out with Ayr fans, I think we'll be okay. And I echo the frustration, and I did expect Ayr United, I certainly didn't expect Arbroath to be in 4th position and Ayr United to be down in 7th. So I would love us to be in Arbroath's position, Partick Thistle's, Wraith Rovers' position. But for factors slightly out with Scott Brown's control so far this season, we're not. But I think the shoots of promise, especially the game against Ross County, could have been far gone by half time. I've seen the goal, or the offside goal, Curtis Main. I'm not sure if he was offside. I think it was disputed. We don't have the VAR,
all the angles
that the big teams have. I'm not sure. Possibly he was offside. It looked like it was tight. So his margins, had that counted, Ayr United would have taken 3 points, and we'd be talking about, you know, we're back. Things are looking more positive. So 4 draws. We've only lost 1 game this league season. The problem is just an attack, and I think those issues should be addressed by having players like Ben Dempsey and Anton Dowes. Who Ben Dempsey loves a goal himself, so I think they're fine. They're okay.
So I mean, Scott Brown mentioned post game again about the fact he's been playing players out of position as well, and I think my gripe with you, I've mentioned already, is that I just find it a bit bizarre that he has complained about players having players out of position, but he's also had Sean Wont on the bench, Bannigan on the bench at times, starting the week after, then complaining that you're playing Liam Dick at centre back or Mark McKenzie at centre mid. I imagine there's questionable things. Scott Brown seems like a man who he's set in his ways as well. You know, he's a headstrong guy. I'm not gonna argue with Scott Brown. he certainly seems like he will have the guys he wants to play and he'll play them, but that can maybe seem as a bit of stubbornness from the Ayr United fans, and it's been a small bench at times as well. So the likes of Ben Dempsey coming back, I think that's huge. Like the way that first half transpired against Rafe, where honestly Ayr were just a bit of a shambles the way they were playing, and it took a while to mix up the play style and knock it long. Playing out the back, it just wasn't working for whatever reason on that day, and fair enough if you want to play that way. It took a while to adjust. I think Ben Dempsey's in the team. He's the one that grabs someone in there and sorts it out. No one was doing that when I was, I'm quite privileged. I'm so close to the pitch, you can hear everything being said as well, and that just wasn't happening. Yeah. Ben Dempsey, he adds that. Anton Dowd's up front as well. I think it's one of the best strikers in the league, if not the best striker in the league when he's fit and firing as well. So a huge addition back. I don't think there's a immediate mark on Scott Brown's on back, but if you do get to the midpoint of the season and things are floundering, that's a talented squad. If it's back fit, maybe that's when real questions are asked. But a bit of a concerning start to the season, and certainly maybe you're not part of that group, but there are a lot of Ayr United fans that are getting quite thin on patience with Scott Brown.
And for sure, and there always is. Ayr fans are as fickle as any. However, you mentioned there was in that Wraith game, the midfield. I think the midfield in that game was maybe Jude Bonner and Kyle Ure, or Mark McKenzie and Kyle Ure.
Mark McKenzie, Jude Bonner, yeah.
So Jude Bonner, Kyle Ure, and particularly in the last couple of games, has really stepped into a game. These are young boys like Jude Bonner, Kyle Ure, technically really good young boys. They're not up to the speed of the Championship. They've been playing for Celtic B. In the Lowlands League, so it's a step up in class. They're getting better, they're getting more experienced. I think now that they've got more minutes in the legs, once they play alongside Ben Dempsey, they'll have a lot more of an impact on their team. And Mark McKenzie is a fantastic professional, and I don't know, alongside Ben Dempsey will maybe have more of an impact in the game. It's difficult when he's alongside young boys from Celtic that maybe not played that role in senior football too often. So I think there's reasons why Ayr have been a little bit off the boil. If you come back to me in 3 weeks' time and we're starting with a fully fit Ben Dempsey and Anton Dowd's is getting more minutes and we're still drawing every game or losing 1-0, we're not scoring enough goals, then yes, I think Scott Brown will have some questions to answer. But at the moment, I think Ayr are fine. And against Ross County, they probably could have and should have won the game. So I think we'll be okay. Definitely questionable decisions. I think you mentioned there Liam Dick and Nick McAllister, whatever they're playing in the back line. But there just must be reasons why Stuart Bannigan's not starting. Maybe not fully fit. Must be reasons why Sean Want was playing on the bench. I think he must be injured again, so he probably wasn't fully fit. I think these are the reasons why we've had sort of a bit of a shake-up at the back at times, and players kind of playing out of position. So giving him the benefit of the doubt, I think there's reasons and factors that explain Ayr United's kind of sort of timid start to the season.
I was going to ask you the same question and finish that off about Rangers, but I'll ask and then we'll go back and quickly do that. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you, just quickly give me a number, about Ayr United's future with Scott Brown as the manager?
7.
7? That's
7.
Decent, yeah. What would you say for Rangers as well? I think we'd do that for
5.
5? That's still quite high. I'd probably give it like a 3.
3?
Yeah, I'm really quite worried for him. That's the kind of thing that I worry about. I don't know, but if I was concerned about it, I'd be concerned about it.
Yeah. I mean, if I was a Rangers fan, it'd probably be lower. But I think he's got the tools. I think he can do it. They've got the players, and I think if he's not battered into submission,
I think the hole's just got a bit deep for him. But Scott Brown as well, I'd probably give it maybe a 6. I've just not seen his third year in. I've not seen a huge amount of identity on the team. I'm not entirely sure what a Scott Brown Ayr team's that good at, but they're also not really that bad at anything at the same time.
Well, I think I know what Ayer's good at, and that's where Scott Brown frustrates me. Sorry to...
Are you going to tell us? Or
I've gladly, yeah. No, I think whenever you see Ayr United at their pomp last season, they got the ball wide, Jay Henderson, Jamie Murphy, whoever it was in the wings, and you get the ball across George Oakley. He was in George Oakley as a predator, be in that 6-yard box. He's not going to create much himself, but he's a fantastic one-touch finisher.
Him and Dowds.
Him and Dowds as
You
well.
got crosses going into the two of them, and you're laughing. So,
and if you feed them the right way, the problem with Scott Brown is that if we're trying to play through the middle too much, and you've got dynamic wingers that Jay Henderson, particularly last season, he's obviously not there anymore. But at times it's like just get the ball to him and get the ball in, and more often than not, George Oakley or Anton Dowds, whoever, will be there. You see the goal at the weekend. It was Dylan Watchett across to Ethan Walker scored. Ayr United score the goals from crosses. It's just the way Conor McLennan in the playoff crossed to Jamie Murphy. That's how Ayr United score the goals. And I just think sometimes we look to go through the middle too much. And because George Oakley's a physical striker, they'll look to go. Sometimes we'll try and play it on the deck, but sometimes we'll just fire it up to him and expect him to trap it and bring other players in. When you're playing against, for example, last season, Cole Donaldson and Liam Henderson, they're going to eat that up. So I just think if they can, obviously you've got to mix it up. Of course, we can't just go wide and whip crosses in all match. But when Ayr United are really on song, 9 times out of 10 their goals come from out wide, and we saw it the weekend against Ross County. I think that's just what they need to do more of. So
I didn't mind the back five when you played that at times last season as well. Get the two up there, wing backs getting up, getting deliveries in. So anyway, I mean, Scott Brown showed he can mix it up at times as well. So
exactly,
he'll try and turn things around. Crazy, half the teams in the Championship haven't won a game. Just say that very quickly. That's a fact I saw after the
horrible
5-6 games in for a lot of them. Half the teams haven't won a game, so I feel a bit better about being a Raith Rovers fan. I was a bit sad after St Johnstone, but at least we've won a game.
You guys have had a fantastic start to the season. But if you look across the Premiership and the Championship, my advice would be to all the gamblers out there, just bet on a draw, man.
Yeah,
look at this. In the Premiership as well, Motherwell have drawn 5 from 5, Rangers 4 from 5, Ayr and Queen's Park 4 from 5. Like, jeez, it's not exciting.
No matter where you are across the SPFL, it's a 1-0 scraped win against Ayr United or a 6-0 majestic pumping of Annan Athletic if you're Clyde. A win's a win. Just take it. Just appreciate it at this moment in time.
Who was it? Was it AC Milan in the 80s that went 18 games or something 1-0?
Well,
they won the league and they scored.
I didn't really count.
Yeah, no, that's proper.
Obviously, 1-0 to the Arsenal used to be the chant. George Graham's Arsenal team's famous for scraping out their 1-0 wins. Yeah. Take it.
Exactly.
Win's a win. Right. Exactly. Should we move to the Seaside League, League One? That's what they call it. That's
true.
I like League One. It's an entertaining division.
I really do. Yeah.
So we're gonna have a look at our next team here, and the manager that we're gonna be saying is under pressure here is gonna be Peter Murphy. Well, not under pressure, the most approved Peter Murphy of Queen of the South. This is the big difference as well between most pressure and most approved. I think we had a chat about what we're gonna go for. We've gone for most approved because, touching it quickly, bottom of the division, Cove Rangers propping it up under Paul Hartley. They're probably feeling a bit of pressure as a football club right now. I'm not too sure what's going on there, but they are a full-time team. They've got some quality players in their squad still, obviously, even if they're aging up a little bit. I think Fraser Fivey's out with an injury at the moment, but Mitch Megginson in there, still quality players in there, but you look at the squad, they've had one player on the bench for some of their games. Recent match against Hamilton, they've been really light, and I'm not entirely sure, looking around, what's going on with Cove. There's not as much to go off as there is Queen of the South, though, so we've got a bit more we can talk about there, because I'm sure Cove Rangers fan would be able to fill us in on the situation, but we're not Cove Rangers fans, so I'm not entirely sure. But I think, at the same time, Peter Murphy really is someone with a bit to prove. Queen of the South manager, they come into this chat then following a 2-1 defeat against East Fife. Tommy Goss, a man from Dumfries, former Annan player, he was always going to be up for this game. As Peter Murphy said in his interview after the match, with a brilliant header at the back post, he just sort of bullied the ball into the back of the net, didn't he? Queen of the South would level it up. A fantastic cross in from Kai Kennedy. He was diverted home by a late run into the box from Reece Lyon, midfielder for Queen of the South. However, 1 minute into the second half, whatever Peter Murphy said at halftime didn't work, as Nathan Austin, Fash, I believe they call him. Is it Fash, is it? Latched onto sort of
I don't know why that is.
a terrible piece of defending back there for Queen of the South and put the ball into the back of the net. Fraser, you've seen the highlights of this game as well. Fair to say that Peter Murphy's assessment after the game that East Fife won every single battle looked pretty true from from at least the highlight package.
Yeah, it was a kind of deluge on the Queen of the South goal.
That's one way to put it. That is, yeah.
In the first half, it was. Looking at that, you would have thought East Fife were top of the league, full-time team. Nathan Austin, Tommy Goss was throwing himself.
What a front two to have up there, because they're going to absolutely batter and bruise you as well.
Front two.
Mikey McKenna coming inside as well from the left.
Yeah, but they looked really, really good. They did a lot of damage. We kind of discussed Queen of the South actually in our preview at the start of the season. I think we did touch on the fact that they've got a lot going forward, but porous at the back maybe. And from those highlights, it did look as though they are there to be got at, and they've got Guthrie, Kai Kennedy in the wings, Reece Lyon, good players in attack, but just. Yeah, they look like they're there to be got at, and Tommy Goss certainly did. Nathan Austin certainly did as well. They had multiple other chances as well. If you can watch the highlights of that game, just for the enthusiasm of the East Fife commentator as well, he's fantastic. I hope he gets
he was
a big move to somewhere, BBC Sport or something.
No, he can't get. He wouldn't have the same passion.
Yeah, true.
That
was fantastic, and he was loving it obviously because they were having so many opportunities. But they look good. Dick Campbell team, of course, they're gonna set up like that.
You always know you're gonna get that from a Dick Campbell team, though, don't you? Especially at home. And last season's issue for Queen of the South then is they were phenomenal at home, but barely picked up a point away from home as well. And they looked like a team that didn't like being an away team, in that game as well. And it's not like they've had a terrible start to the season. This is Peter Murphy's second season. Last year they finished third and lost in the playoffs as well. Obviously it's a very tight competitive division as ever, but I don't see Inverness, for example, not running away with this league just the way it started as well. 5-point deduction for them would see them 4 points clear at the top. Stenny themselves had a good start to the season. Queen and South are in and about it as well, but fans getting a bit frustrated looking through some of the forums as well, what the fans are saying there. Take my regular look on Time Bother. Of course we do. Of course we had a look. And it certainly seems Queen of the South fans are just a bit concerned that there's a lack of a plan B when the passing game doesn't work out. You do have players like Kai Kennedy, who's a bit of a luxury player at that level. I watched that highlight package. First half, by the way, there was tons of chances. Watched 4 or 5 minutes of the Queen of the South goal getting absolutely battered down. And then I was actually thinking to myself, is Kai Kennedy fit? Is he playing this game? Not seen him touch the ball. That's when he gets the ball, picks it up, little drop of the shoulder, pings a beautiful cross, on which is turned into the goal by Reece Lyon. And that's what he can do. But otherwise, you wouldn't be mistaken for not knowing that Kai Kennedy wasn't on the pitch. And you could say that about a few of their strikers. Curtis Guthrie had a good chance in there as well. But they just didn't get going at all. And the fans certainly seem concerned that there isn't that plan B, and that's all we can really go off as these highlight packages. There's not been down to seeing Queen of South play yet this season, but not massively impressed. And Peter Murphy, in his interview post game, to be fair, he seems like quite a sort of a happy character, but he didn't have anything too nice to say after that game. Said his players.
He did about East Fife.
He did, and Tommy Goss as well, his former player Annan, of course, who I don't know if he was suggesting that he's got a strong dislike of Queen of the South from the way he was sort of teetering around it. That's kind of what he sounded like he was saying, certainly. But Tommy Goss was well up for that game, and Peter Murphy said some of his players looked like they couldn't kick a ball in that game.
Well, that ultimately, I guess, comes down to him. It's a difficult one with Queen of the South. They've got a real opportunity. They got a 5-point head start in Inverness. They've let that slip now. Inverness just look possibly a cut above. They look really good and they're having a good start to the season. And I think they will go on to win the league. But Queen of the South have got the firepower and attack, but we're looking at these stats here. I'm surprised actually East Fife had as few shots as they did. But 10 shots to Queen of the South's 3 shots. East Fife had 3 shots on target. Queen of the South had two shots on target. With the players that they've got, full-time team in that league, it's not good enough. So Peter Murphy wasn't happy. I think Queen of the South fans will also not be happy. But they've got a decent opportunity at home to Inverness to right their wrongs. So if they can make up for that loss away to East Fife and get 3 points on the board against their sort of promotion rivals Inverness, then they'll be in a good position. But as you say, didn't see much of Kai Kennedy, and that's a player that if they're going to do things in this league, then we need to see more of. So Peter Murphy bullish in his post-match comments, so I'm sure training wouldn't be easy this week for them.
Yeah, but I mean, I do like Peter Murphy. He did a good job at Annan. It made sense bringing him in, make that step to full time in Queen of the South. But Queen of the South, I would need to fact check this. I think that's 4 years now in League One as a full time football team. You can't do that forever. You know, there's only going to be a certain period of time Queen of the South continue to be full time, and right now they don't look like they've made progress too much. Peter Murphy though could turn it around, and as I say, he did say in his interview it was a learning curve as well. I think it will certainly be that. Queen of the South are a team that opposition are going to get at though, you know, especially away from home, and his players just need to be a bit stronger in their play style. Peter Murphy though, I don't think he's under any like immediate pressure at all. I don't think he should be, but he's got a fair bit to prove, I think, to the Queen of the South fans to show that he can be the man to build something big, because Queen of the South, they want to be a championship club and a settled championship club again, you know, as they were, you know, previous years. So long way to go in the season, but confident Queen of the South's chance to turn it around.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. That's probably, would you say, match of the weekend coming up? Queen of the South at home to Inverness. If Queen of the South play well, that is. I think
I mean, they're back to the happy place at home, which makes a big advantage for them as well. They are at home for that game, aren't they?
Exactly.
Double check that. So, but Inverness go down there, pick up a result, then you're looking at a real sort of statement. I think Inverness would go back up the road feeling really, really confident. I mean, of course, Stenhousemuir are leading the league, so
exactly.
Shout out to the Maroon Machine.
Can't ignore them, but yeah, just the way that Inverness are going, I think they've got the momentum. But we'll see. I'll
give my confidence for the Queen of South future. I'll give it like a 6 out of 10 under Peter Murphy, under his stewardship. I think he's a good manager, but there's just a lot of questions that have remained unanswered for a long time now, especially that, you know, poor performances on the road. But if he's got a good squad together, it doesn't look like there'll be any more additions coming into it. But I think he's a good manager, and you know they've still picked up points to start off the season. There's a long way to go in this, but if you do get to the end of another season and Queen of the South don't look like they should be getting promoted, then that's really where questions are asked.
Yeah, no, I think so, but there's a long way to go. They've started well. They could definitely do better, but they put themselves in a decent position anyway.
Yeah.
And tomorrow
whenever this is out, yeah, you know,
yesterday we'll tell.
Right, we're going to move on to our final team down to League Two. Another under pressure manager will be Willie Gibson, I'm sure, after a 6-0 defeat for Annan against Clyde. They had a really bad League Cup group stage, and obviously being the manager of a relegated club is never an easy sort of thing to overcome. That's not who we've gone for in this, despite all that. We have gone for Stirling Albion and manager Alan Mabry. So, to give a bit of a summary where they come into this game, it was a fair bit of a pumping on the road, it's fair to say. All the way up in Elgin, it was 3-0 defeat. So Spalding scored assisted the first goal to Russell Dingwall, goal scoring midfielder. He finished off with a good hit. Josh Walker followed that up with a tap in, and then we had one of the early goal of the season contenders again, Kane Hester's phenomenal free kick, which gave Derek Gaston absolutely no chance in the Stirling Albion goal. Beautiful angle of it as well from sort of behind the taker. So you presume you saw that, Fraser?
I did. I was going to ask your opinion on this, Callum. The commentator for that match described it as world class. What's your thoughts?
You can't take it. It doesn't get any better than that, does it? So I'll give him that.
It's maybe difficult to say that, you know, any sort of anything that happens in Borough Briggs in football terms is world class, but I mean, I don't know if anyone could really have hit that ball any sweeter. I mean, Messi, I'm not even sure he's got a knuckleball in him.
I'll give Dejon Golding's goal last season as well for Elgin. Exactly. That was world class as well. I'm not taking world class. That. So Jack Harness was also sent off for straight red. I think it was, or it might be in the second year. I wasn't too sure what happened. I think it was just a sent in there, which is just poor when you're 3-0 down as well. Confounded things for Stirling Albion. The result leaves them in 5th place in the league. 7 points in the board, so it's not like they haven't picked up any points at the start of the season, but I have to say it seems like they've got a manager who has been under a fair bit of stick since he got the job this time last year. And maybe came in, Stirling only had about 4 or 5 players signed up after they got relegated. He had to build a squad completely up, and it was a bit of an average season. Ended up finishing 6th position. 1 point, it did look like they could have made a playoff run, didn't make it in the end. And this is probably the year where they need to have a bit of that acid test then under Mabry, where you really do need to kick on. And they've not done that to start the season, and going up to play Elgin, 3-0 loss against a team that hadn't won a game yet this season, really confounds thing a bit. And I think the Stirling Albion fans are losing quite a bit of patience with their manager.
I know. We feel for our good friend Matthew, the pie reviewer.
Yeah.
It's a shame he made the journey up and wouldn't have enjoyed what he watched. Yeah, it's weird with Stirling. We sort of discussed them potentially when we were thinking of who could our dark horses be for League Two. We discussed Stirling Albion. I guess they're not massively out of it. There's two teams that are opening up a bit of a gap, and Dumbarton would have made that 3 had they not had their points deduction. But Stirling, they're not fully out of touch yet. But that was a damning result against Elgin City, 3-0. With barely really laying a glove on them, and it doesn't get any easier for them. They're away at Spartans. In the form that Spartans are in, I think that should be a pretty comfortable win for them. So, it's a difficult spot for Alan Maybury. We discussed Ross Cunningham coming in, League One top scorer last season. We thought, alongside players like Adam Brown, Stirling were going to kick on and could upset the apple cart in East Kilbride and Edinburgh City and teams like that. But yeah, it looks like it might be sort of mid-table mediocrity for them again if they continue the way that they're going.
Yeah, which I don't think is good enough, really. And you've seen Ross Cunningham come in, top scorer in League One last season, joint top scorer actually, I think, in League One last season. Came in, he's out on the wing. They've got him, they've got Adam Brown. They're both kind of almost luxury players to have at that level. You want them to come in, float around, score goals. Adam Brown, certainly so many goal contributions last season for him as well. And you've got the two of them on the wings. Now, that makes it almost a bit of an issue. How do you get them both into the team? How do you get them both to thrive? But just look at Edinburgh City. They've got about 4 number 10s in their team. I guess everyone's not got the McIntyre magic, but it's probably a good issue to have, trying to get Ross Cunningham and Adam Brown into your team. They've got quality, especially in tech. Ryan Shanley on the bench. He's a player that's, again, has a bit of sort of luxury to his game as well. If someone could get them on the same hymn sheet, you'd be in a good place. It's not like, I think Alan Maybury's had, from an outside perspective, I don't think he's had a disastrous spell as Stirling Albion manager. However, their fans are incredibly frustrated with him. And I was at a really entertaining game last year against Peterhead, who for me, the best team in the league last year, obviously ended up winning it. Stirling, I think it was 2-2 until the last minute. Peterhead ended up winning it. Stirling took the lead, and then Peterhead took the lead. Stirling pulled it back again. It was a good game. It was back and forward, but every single time Peterhead scores, something happened to Stirling fans who are on Maybury, and it's such a difficult place to come back from. I think there's probably more parallels out before managers we spoke about here. So the Russell Martin situation going on, where fans are just against someone from the start. And as I say, a Stirling Albion fan wouldn't want me and you to sit here and tell them why their team's not good and why they don't back their manager, because they see them play week in, week out. We don't. Not even getting in too much content coming out of Stirling as well. There's the moment in time street talk on the Pine Bovril. There's a bit of change in sort of volunteers there. So we've been relying on Matthew's football adventures. His fantastic vlogs. Shout out to him for keeping up the great content. Started off this week, Fraser. 1 line, snack secured. No hello, no welcome to the vlog. I loved it. It was straight in there. Yeah. Straight in the car. The most just straight to the point vlog ever. In the car, shots, no music playing. It was brilliant. I love his content. Generally, and he's bringing more, content, Stirling Albion than anyone as well. So credit to him for making that long journey up as well and trying a few pies along the way as well. So if he ever wants to come on the podcast, more than welcome. I do love his content.
Absolutely.
But I felt sorry for him at the end of his vlog as well, because he was.
I hope he got snacks for the way home as well.
Me too, because he would have needed them, because he's clearly one of the most passionate people about Stirling Albion. And I love that as well, especially seeing young people supporting their team in such fashion. Yeah. But his face, he was gutted after the game, and then jumping on the Pine Bovril forum, a confusing read. Someone has been in there with an AI sort of piece about why Alan Maybury is the best manager ever. Is
that A. Maybury that posted that?
Yeah, I don't know if Alan Maybury's got a burner account, went on ChatGPT and wrote, Alan Maybury is a fantastic coach with his experiences here and here. He's added defensive solidity with a clean sheet against Bonnie Rig Rose in March, something like that. And you're right, that's a bit odd. However, when you read the fans, patience has got thin, especially some of the fans that won, maybe against him as well. You're reading that, just a strong comment in there was team of players that don't look like they're playing for each other, and I could see that as well from what I've seen from Stirling at times, just lacking a bit of something, a bit of cohesion. You know, you see the run Stenhousemuir have had over the last couple of years under Gary Naismith. Why can't Stirling Albion do something like that as well? Similar size club, really talented players in there, just need to be going in the same direction. It feels like Alan Mabry's sort of chasing his tail a bit with this job, that you can pick up 2 wins, but the fans are still annoyed and angry, and that's not going to change. So I think the pressure's really built up on him. As I say, Stirling Albion at this moment in time is a local team for me as well, so I'll go along and watch them whenever I can. Just not been a great feeling around there for quite a while now, and just more questions probably than answered at this moment in time. So I'm not too confident for the future of Stirling Albion under Alan Mabry, and he might be one where a 3-0 loss to Elgin, Spartans away this weekend as well, as we mentioned. Obviously, they could go there and pick up a result. Who knows the talent they do have? They are more than capable of that. But I'd be expecting, if this does go out before the game, hopefully it does, so we don't like idiots if they've gone and won. But I would expect another loss, and just might pile up a little bit on Stirling Albion. So honestly, I'd say maybe a 5 out of 10 confidence-wise going forward for Stirling under Mabry, because they're not going to get sucked into trouble at the bottom. You know, League Two, things can change so quickly in that division for any team, but I don't think it's going the way the Stirling Albion fans want, and ultimately they're the ones that pay to watch their team every week and know the situation best.
Yeah, I think similar, maybe echo you there, maybe a 4 or a 5 for me.
I'll go 5.
Go for 5.
They've got players that could turn it around if they do click. So I'll give Alan
And
Mabry
Mabry's
a 5,
got a good CV, from a coaching perspective as well. And I'm not going to knock his coaching abilities. Maybe management's just it's such a different thing, and that I think the acid test is this season. And he probably deserves a bit of time given last year, but ultimately the fans are fuming about things, then they know best, I guess, as well. So I think that brings this segment to an end.
That wraps us up, yeah.
Should we?
Unless you want to go into the Lowland League. Pick a manager, any manager.
Pick any manager. That's a bit mean. A little bit harsh doing that. Yeah, I don't know. Lowland League's always got plenty going on in it.
Yeah,
but
no, it does.
Well,
no one can get relegated this year though, so no one's getting anything to prove. So
we'll come back to one another day. Anyway, that's our managers with the most proven the SPFL. Fraser, we've got a few challenges to come.
Oh, yes, we do.
I'm going to start you off as this week EAFC 26. AFC FIFA 26, as we'd call it in our day. That's all, guys. You much of a FIFA player?
I had FIFA 08 on my Nintendo.
So old man.
I had FIFA 10 on my Wii. No,
I was actually PES. I was a PES boy back then.
Were you PES?
PES 06, PES 08.
Were you PES boy?
Games, man.
No, FIFA for me. I think I had FIFA 03 on my Game Boy.
I think FIFA 10, 11, I sort of transitioned over fully.
Yeah.
So, but not these days, not too much.
No, unfortunately not. I wasn't really a gamer, so I had my Wii and my DS. I never get in after that.
If you fancy a game of FIFA someday, we'll give you a game.
I'd love it. Yeah, you'll win.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for the warning. I don't play much anyway myself.
Why would I want FIFA? Ayr were never on it. Do you know what team I chose in 2008? FIFA 08.
Tell me.
Gretna.
Oh, yeah.
That was my team. James Grady.
Oh.
Chris McGuffey.
Oh.
Colin McMenamin. What a team.
There we go.
Or Ryan McGuffey, sorry.
I'd love to see Rafe in it one day as well. I'd buy the new FIFA if Rafe's in it. So obviously a new team in it this year's Falkirk. So good for them. Right, Fraser, to celebrate FC 26 coming out, I want you to guess the FC 26 team. I want you to guess the Scottish Premiership team based off their FC 26 ratings.
Oh, I'm not going to be good at this at all.
That aeroplane has really not done us a favour over TikTok, has it? I'm going to do that one more time. All right. People get to see
should have shut that window.
It's okay.
You can shut that window if you want.
That window can stay open. I'm enjoying the fresh air. Nice. I want you to guess the Scottish Premiership team based off their FC 26 ratings.
Perfect.
Right.
Bring it.
So don't jump out and say the answer straight away if you know it, which I don't think you will, but give a little bit of description as well to people. People watching will see it on screen. You're getting the physical paper copy of this. Nice. But give a bit of description as well for people at home that are listening, potentially. Driving their cars, perhaps. They haven't got to turn on their screens.
Okay.
For some unsafe driving. Your first team up here.
This is difficult.
Right, what are you seeing?
I'm seeing 3 at the back.
3 at the back. So obviously the ones in
2
red.
wing backs.
The ones in red here are your silver ratings. So you've got a 67 rated striker and a 67 and a 65 in midfield. The rest of this team are bronze.
I'm I'm going to guess based on the formation.
I don't want you to give away too many guesses, all right?
As in,
I want you to be careful with your guesses.
Careful. Oh, right,
I'll give
okay.
you one wrong guess for each one.
one wrong guess. So there's a team that's jumping out to me that has quality in the midfield
Who would those players be?
and defence.
Defence is all bronze.
In an attack, you've maybe got. You could have Sapsford at 67
Okay.
or Dolchek. I'm just trying to think who.
And
would
there's
be
quite a big jump between
58.
one of their midfielders and one of their strikers from the rest of the team.
Yeah. That's going to be quite hard.
Right.
It's going to be quite hard.
Well, don't worry about it. No one's gonna judge you if you get it wrong.
That's true. I'm going to go based on the three at the back. What could it be?
There's quite a lot of teams with three at the back, by the way, coming up.
It couldn't be Hibs, could it? Who's left wing back for Hibs? Could it be the Caddens?
59 and 63 rated the wing backs, which is pretty low.
Would Will Ferry be 59? That seems a bit harsh for Will Ferry, but I'm going to stick with my gut originally, and I'm going to go for Dundee United.
You're wrong. So, do you want me to reveal who it is?
Potentially, with,
I would-
with the midfield, it could be St Mirren.
I'll give you a hint because you're wrong.
Yep.
Do think who's the star player in this team? What position? Based off the ranking, it is sort of reflected.
So it's obviously the midfielder and the striker.
The striker and one of the midfielders, yeah.
I'm thinking St Mirren have got a strong midfield, so that could be Bacchus, Killian Phillips, Mark O'Hara in midfield. But who's going to be 67 up front? For maybe Kieran Bowie's 58 and Martin Boyle's 67. It could be that. Let's go Hibs.
No, you're well off. Well off. That is Dundee.
Dundee.
That is Dundee's team. So
okay.
Simon Murray, the star man up there, 67, sorry. Jan Dander, other star player in there, 67 rated as well.
Fair enough.
I think that's Ethan Hamilton, their other silver player in the team.
There you go.
All right.
Who's 59 then?
59. Oh,
That seems a little bit harsh.
59 rated is... Thorough check of the notes here. Your 59 rated player in their team, so you've got 58 rated, sorry, that should be 59 Yoal? I've really butchered his pronunciation of his name there. It's their left wing back.
Right, okay.
I'm really sorry.
That's difficult. That's difficult.
Wesley up front, yeah, one of the worst teams in here. So that's sort of your hint on the ratings. 58 rated.
Nice. I've got a gauge now of what all the ratings are going to be.
That should be a 58, by the way. It says 53, but I don't think that made a big difference.
It actually says 63.
That's a 5. That's meant to be a 5. That's a 53. Terrible writing either way.
Yeah. Okay.
58 rated Luke Graham. Criminally row. So
58.
58.
That won't be for long.
Right. You're on to
Perfect.
into your second team here.
Right. This is
Read us through the formation and what's jumping out.
right. So it's 4-2-3-1. Quite high ratings.
It's got 2 golds in here. 75 in goal and a 77.
Right. So that's Rangers. It's got to be Butland and Tavernier.
Yep, that is Rangers.
Yeah,
got
that's
that quick.
Yeah.
64 at left back, of course.
Who's that again?
What's his name there, left back? Magoma, the boy on they got
aye.
on loan from
Okay.
is it Bournemouth potentially? Is it?
Brentford.
Brentford, that's it actually. Yeah. Rangers got comfortably in there,
Yeah. Who's the striker?
Miovski. I've gone off their
okay,
last
right.
starting lineup for every single one here
Right.
as well.
Okay. Nice. Nice.
Yeah,
We're back.
you're back in business.
How many are we doing? All 12 or?
No,
Okay. Nice.
you've got 8. Let's come up here. Number 3 in here.
God, that's
So we've got another back 3 across the midfield, 4 silvers and a 65 rated striker. So it's another back 3. There's quite a lot of teams in the league playing back 3s at the minute, so it's not really too much of it. I wouldn't look at it too much. And I've done it on purpose. The teams I've got, I think that half of them are like 4-3-1s and half of them are back 3s. So yeah, you do have strength here. Highest rated players, their left wing back, 68 rated.
left wing back, 68 rated. So it's got to be. So the striker's 65. It's got to be a team that's got a worse striker than Simon Murray at 67.
I'd say Simon Murray's a good striker though. So
No, of course he is, but like
Yeah.
Lawrence Shanklin surely is going to be higher than 67 based on that.
yeah,
Hibs, so it's not going to be Hearts, it's not going to be Hibs. 55 left centre back, that's harsh.
it is harsh as well when you find out who the player is. That's a really harsh rating.
This could be Dundee United. Dundee United.
You going for that?
I'll go Dundee United.
Dundee United, you're correct. You're on the money.
Is that correct?
You're on the money. Yeah,
55.
55 is a bit
That is
criminal.
criminal.
We've had to chuck Ross Graham in at right centre back as their new centre back Iovu, who's not on the game.
Right,
so that's
okay.
a bit of a
Man, that's an
change it.
insult.
Correct is 55.
55.
You're
Clearly
right.
not watched them.
It was a bit of a terrible guess saying Ferry for left wing back 58,
Yeah, yeah.
68 rated.
I
Their
know
highest player, their star man.
Yeah, fair play.
All right, you're on to your fourth team.
Okay, good. I'm glad. At least I've got two.
Team 4 is a 4-2-3-1. A bit of a mixed bag in here. A few 50s in there. A 68 a right wing and a 66 in goal. The rest of that team is bronze, all between the ratings of 56 and 61.
Right, 66. I'm thinking Falkirk or Livingston. Who's going to be 60? 68 could be.
68 is a very high rating.
That is a very high rating, so who could that be? Jerome Prior could be 66. Nicky Hogarth's not going to be 66, I don't think. Who plays right back?
I bet it's Nicky Hogarth, the Falkirk goalkeeper.
Oh, Scott Bain, of course, sorry. Well, okay, so Scott Bain could be 66. So 59, probably Brian Graham, Ross McKeever, whoever. 68. Is that Scott Arfield that's playing right wing there? That would make sense.
By the way, I answered yes or no. That would tell you what team it is.
I'm going to go Keelan Adams at 58 is an absolute disgrace as well. Brad Spencer maybe 60, or is he 56? Okay. Falkirk.
It is Falkirk. You got that. There are some disgraceful ratings in here. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
For free. Keelan Adams 68.
58.
58. Sorry. Liam Henderson 60. Spencer 60. Galate 60. Calvin Miller 61. Ross McKeever 59.
Who's 60?
60. That's Dylan Tay.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry. And who's 56 then?
Cartwright. They got on loan. So
okay.
yeah, pretty.
That seems, yeah,
Some
okay.
harsh ratings in there, but you can.
So, and that's Scott Arfield.
That's Scott Arfield who's playing right wing in that.
That threw me off a wee bit. I was thinking
Yeah.
Calvin Miller, Ethan Ross can't be 68. They're good. They're
Ethan Ross
brilliant,
is injured at the minute,
Fair enough.
so he wasn't playing. Right, you're on to team number 5. You're doing all right so far.
Yeah.
3 out of 4. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll take that.
We've got another back 3 here for you now. This is a team mostly built up of silver players, 3 at the back, 64s, striker,
is
centre
Hearts.
mid, centre back,
This
and
is Hearts.
goal.
This has got to be Hearts.
71 up front, 71 in centre
Yeah,
mid, 70 left wing back.
Shanklin, Braga.
You punching in your guess?
Xander Clark. Is it Hearts or could it be Hibs? Hibs could
Ooh,
be
he's had a last minute change of mind.
Martin Boyle and who plays left wing back for Hibs again? Do you know what? 68 Rocky, 71 Dylan Levitt, maybe Josh Milligan 64. Oh, is it Hearts or Hibs? I wish I'd seen the starting lineups for the last couple of games.
That's your fault. That's
Martin,
your fault.
Martin Boyle's 71. It's Hibs.
This is Hibs.
Oh,
Good shout there. You pulled it back nicely in the end there. 71's Jamie McGrath in midfield.
of course.
67, Dylan Levitt. Rocky 68, a bit low potentially. Nicky Cadden 70, yep. Mark Boyle 71 up
Nicky
front.
Cadden 70.
Yeah.
Nicky Cadden was on the books at Ayr not so long ago.
And
70.
Kieran Bowie currently only 64, but career
Yeah,
mode, but have some good potential there.
And so Chris Cadden 66 and Nicky 70.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He had a very good season last year. Right. You're on to team number 6 here.
Okay.
Right, you've got another 43 one up here, a bit of a mixed bag. It's mostly silvers. You've got a 61 rated centre back though, a 58 rated left back, and a gold 75 rated left winger. The rest of this team is between 66, 71 sort of average silver players.
Aberdeen.
Aberdeen,
This will
indeed.
be Aberdeen.
Yeah. So
I think Dimitar Mitov's worthy of 70. 71, who would that be? Who's 75? Is that Keskinen?
No, it's not. Think about it for a second.
Is 71 Nisbet?
71's Nisbet up front. Carlson, obviously their new player in from Bologna, has a nice friendly 75 rating.
That's not bad, eh? Yeah, that's... Is Jack Milne?
No, it was Dorrington and Noster.
Right, okay. And who's 58? Who's playing like
That's their left back, Giamphy. I'm not familiar with him.
Yeah, unfamiliar. But yep, that makes sense.
So, good work there. You're flying here. 2 more to come.
2 more to go.
Number 7 here. A back 3 again. Now you've got 3 silvers across centre mid, 1 at centre back, and the rest of the team.
This has got to be St Mirren with their midfield.
The rest of this team are bronze. Yeah, before I even speak through it all, you are correct. Yeah, that silver midfield of St Mirren really gives them a left back.
Killian Phillips, Bacchus, and who's their third? Mark O'Hara.
O'Hara, highest rated one.
68?
68 for O'Hara. So. Right, you're on to your final one. Team number 8, you've got enough back 3. Oh no, you don't. That's number 5.
All the rage.
Sorry, no, you've got a 4-4-2. Let's keep it.
Love it.
Old traditional
Who's
here.
playing 4-4-2 again?
4-4-2. Everyone in this team's silver. 2 bronzes on the right hand side, a 61 and a 63.
Who's playing 4-4-2?
Otherwise, you've got 2 71s in centre mid, a 73 and a 66 up front, 2 67s on the wing, and a 17 goal.
So, Celtic, Motherwell, Kelly. That's
I've been a bit liberal with the formation as well.
This can't be Celtic. Nah. Like Colby Donovan at 61. Nah.
Talk us through some of the stars of this team then.
So 17 goals. So Kasper Schmeichel's going to have higher than 70 surely. 73 Maida's higher than 73. I would have thought. So it can't be. But based on the last start, Colby Donovan right back. Surely he's less than 61. He's just a young guy.
Oh, so just the move that Celtic will be peppered with golds. Don't worry.
Yeah, right. Okay, so it's not Celtic. It's not Kelly because I don't think.
Talks through so obviously 75 is the rating for a gold in FIFA, but who's the star man in this team?
The star men, striker and goalkeeper, and the 2 midfielders. So you could argue that's not going to be Hearts. Xander Clark's he's not going to be 70 in goals. Shanklin could be 73, but he's been a bit rubbish lately. So not lately. Is he going to get 73? And Braga's probably more than 66. Kelly or Motherwell, who's starting in goals for Liam Kelly, could be 70.
The right mid in this team is a real sort of wild card up there. I wouldn't be thinking about right midfielders. They're 63 rated, and also might be playing there if it was 4-4-2 or not. I'm not too sure.
I'm struggling with this one. Could it be Levy? Jerome Prior, and who's playing up top for Levy?
And 73 is
it's high. I'm not going to
probably the highest rated striker outside of the old firm.
Yeah, why is my mind gone blank? Let's go Motherwell then.
Incorrect. This is Heart Midlothian.
Hearts?
Yeah.
Is that Shanklin? 73?
Yeah.
And 66 is Braga?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Braga's
okay, I thought...
Probably not too known a player coming in. I think that's Devlin and Beningame in midfield.
I would have thought they would have played... Are they playing 4 at the back?
I think so, yeah.
Ah, interesting.
Because Harry Milne kind of played right mid.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fair enough.
But I don't know if it was more of a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2, but he was playing right mid.
Disappointing. I had that.
Swallow in goal with an asterisk because he hasn't got a card on this year's FIFA, but that's his last year rating. So.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, 73
That was difficult.
was the giveaway up there. Yep. All right, on to challenge number 2, Fraser. I believe you've got something lined up for us today.
Just a classic. This is a classic. Hopefully the fans will enjoy this. Hopefully you'll enjoy this, Callum. Probably should have done this before. However, Callum, you're going to name the top 10 oldest clubs in Scotland.
Oh my goodness! Right, there's a lot of them.
There's
a lot of old clubs. Is this just SPFL or
all within the 42?
Within the 42. Okay. Right, we'll start up at the top. I believe Queen's Park.
Yes. Bonus points if you can give me their year.
Oh, not a chance. I think they celebrated their 150th year anniversary in what was it, 2000 I think it was just around COVID, wasn't it? 2022 maybe? So 150 years from that. No, am I wrong?
You're not far off. 1867.
1867.
Yeah,
Right.
so 2017, I guess they would have celebrated that. So you've got one. Well done.
Thank you very much. Who would have been an old club then? Not in 42. East Stirlingshire, quite an old club.
These. I don't know whether it's coincidental or whether my stats were just looking at
42.
The 42, but they're within the 42.
Yeah. No, I'm sure that would just be the 42 then, because there's small clubs not involved. Ooh, I don't know. I'm thinking Premiership.
There are clubs.
Yeah.
Premiership.
Like Kilmarnock.
Second oldest club in Scotland, 1869. They like to go with the line. I don't know if they can do it anymore. Well, they won't be able to do it anymore, but they are the oldest professional club in Scotland.
Right.
But Queen's Park are obviously professional now.
So what year are they?
1869.
1869. Wow, this is early. This is early doors. This
So
stuff.
you got 1 and 2.
1 and 2. That's
Good
a good place to start. That is.
There's a couple of rogue ones in here actually.
Is
but
there? Okay.
Some big hitters as well. So
I feel like a lot of the clubs were late 1880s. I think a lot of clubs were, and I don't know if they'll
I'll
qualify.
give you a hint. This list stops in 1876.
76. Okay,
76.
This is early. This is.
This is
Do we get a Celtic in there?
no.
No, we don't.
You know what year they were?
No.
I've seen enough Celtic strips to realise they're 1888, so they're well off this list actually.
I presume Rangers would be a similar-ish time. I don't know.
2012. I'm joking. 1872.
That's
They're
not-
on the list.
Are they on the list?
Rangers are.
Oh
fifth.
wow, Rangers then.
1872. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll have some people in the comments disputing that fact, but
This is quite tough, isn't it?
so you've got 1, 2, and 5 so far.
1, 2, and 5. I feel like I'm sort of just stabbing in the dark with a lot of these. Dunfermline?
No, however, I don't have their. I've got all the. I meant to finish off, so I had the year for every single club, but I've not done that. No, Dunfermline are not on the list.
Because I've had Rangers, I'll say Hearts.
Yes, 6th, 1874.
Okay. Would we get Hibs? No. Hibs?
You do. Coming in at 8 in 1875. Sorry, I'm still looking up Dunfermline. I should have.
Never in doubt.
I meant to finish my research and I didn't.
Don't worry about looking them up. We don't need them all.
1885 Dunfermline. There you
Okay.
go. Do you know when Wraith were formed?
1888.
Really? Mm-hmm. You and Celtic?
I should know that.
You should. Yeah, you really should know that.
Seeing as we've got like a club 1888, I think it's called. So if it's not a club 1888,
I would
really
never have
embarrass
guessed.
myself.
I couldn't have guessed that, but they're not on this list, obviously. So you've got
Yes, I know that.
Hibs at 8, you get Hearts at 6, Rangers 5, Kilmarnock 2, Queen's Park 1. So you're looking for 3, 4, 7, 9, and 10. More difficult clubs.
Okay. Are these lower league? We still got a Premiership club in there.
You've got one Premiership.
Was it Motherwell?
No.
No. Oh. Hamilton Accies.
Yes, 1874. They're the only club in Scotland formed from a school, I believe. That's why they're called Hamilton Academical.
Academicals, all right. Brilliant.
Never knew. But
Ooh, who do we jump to next then? Yeah, because I feel like you look back at these like old pictures of early Premiership like leagues and it's got all these random clubs in there. And,
I can give you hints if you're looking for hints. You've still got a Premiership club, you've got a Championship club, and then 2 League 2 clubs.
2 League 2 clubs in there.
Yeah.
Is there any Northern teams?
No.
Nothing. All right, I presume not. Couple of League 2 clubs in there's interesting.
I don't.
Dumbarton?
Yes. Not bad, not bad. They're 4th, 1872.
Another club that feel like they're always in these historical conversations.
When I say they came 4th, I've got Rangers and Dumbarton both 1872, so I don't know who came first.
Oh, find your mums and your days, please get this in order. So we've got one more League 2 club, a Championship club and a Premiership club.
Yep.
Who would the Premiership club be then? I feel like I am sort of guessing a bit here. But St Mirren?
No.
Not St Mirren. Shouldn't Marin.
I don't know how to give you any hints without
Tell me who it is. Falkirk?
Yes. 1876.
The Bairns.
The Bairns, yeah.
And a Championship club and a League Two club to come.
Yep.
Who's got a bit of history about them?
The League Two club are the third oldest club in Scotland.
Really? Oh wow! I feel like I should have got that then.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the Championship club are the 10th oldest club in Scotland.
well, it's definitely not the Spartans. It's definitely not Edinburgh.
Spartans, by the way,
City.
1951, originally intended for only graduates of Edinburgh University. Didn't know that.
I did know that. I'm not trying to sound like I know it all, but
You didn't know.
you've been on Spartans Wikipedia page.
I've got some other cool facts. East Kilbride claimed to have been formed in 1871. That was the original club.
2010 or something like that.
2010 is the current.
Was it actually? That's quite a good pull from me there. Who's even left in League Two then in the Championship?
I've just told you two clubs that it's not.
Oh no, yeah, it's not Spartans. It's not Edinburgh City. We've had Dumbarton.
Stirling, do you know when they were formed?
Yeah, after the war, 1946.
Phenomenal. 1945. Following the
Oh, was it
demise
45?
of Kings Park
Kings
after
Park,
World
FC.
War II.
I knew that. Kings Park got bombed, so they made this the Stirling Albion. Yeah,
Didn't know that, but
that's a fact I knew. There's a little monument for them if
Yeah.
you go on a walk. If you're walking up to the castle and you go down, there's a little thing for them.
process of elimination, you can get this.
Yes. Well, I knew it wouldn't be Stirling.
It's not Spartans, not East Kilbride, not Stirling.
I wouldn't guess Stranraer, but I'm
Why
trying to
not?
think if there's anyone else. I don't know. Did they find football in Stranraer? Stranraer.
Correct. 1870.
Never in doubt.
I don't have any fun facts apart from their grounds is called Stair Park, which I get mixed up with Starts Park quite regularly.
Great highlight package.
Great highlight package, yeah.
So we got one more team then in the Championship.
Yep, the 10th oldest club in Scotland.
I will guess Partick Thistle.
Correct.
Boing boing.
1876. That's one of those clubs for me that I could tell you the year they were formed. Just I've seen so many Partick Thistle badges and strips over the years that 1876 is kind of etched in my memory. But
What year was Ayr founded?
can you have a guess?
87.
No, 1910.
1910.
1910, Ayr FC and Ayr Park House joined forces to create what is now Ayr United.
Guess there was only space for one team in Ayrshire.
Amen. Can you get 11, 12 and 13 just for fun, or I can tell you them?
You just tell
I've got
me.
them. In 11th, I should have said this actually at the time. St Mirren, 1877.
Okay.
Clyde, 1877. 12, 11 and 12 again, interchangeable. And Arbroath, 1878.
1878 is it?
1878 for Arbroath. So, famously,
136-0 against Shotts
136.
Bonaccord.
yes,
Is that what you're trying?
that's what I was going to go for.
This man has been on Wikipedia.
No, everyone knew that one before. But there you go, Callum. Well done, you got there.
Right, we've got one more challenge to come.
Yeah, whatever this one is.
This one, some sort of Ryder Cup based challenge, or thinking we got our heads together and we came up with a stellar idea. So Ryder Cup, you've got 12 players on your team, right?
Yep.
So what we're going to do is obviously it's a European team, but we're going to make it a Scottish team against an All-American team. So Fraser, inspired by the Ryder Cup, we're going to do a 12v12 for USA players against a Team Scotland.
Yep. And we'll tot them up and see who wins the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, so we've got seedings as well. We've been giving seedings from 12 to 1. We're going to start at 12. We've got a centre-back battle here between Cameron Carter. A centre-back battle here. Fraser's mum's very excited by this challenge outside. We've got a battle here between Cameron Carter-Vickers and John Suter. Who's winning that one?
That's a difficult one. John Suter on his day is one of the best, or perhaps the best centre-half in the league, but I think Cameron Carter-Vickers just edges it. He's a quality operator.
A little bit more pedigree, a couple less more mistakes. Carter-Vickers 1-0 to America.
1-0. 1 point. One hole in one.
A hole in one. Right, our 11 seed.
We've got Morris Edu and Charlie Adam.
Charlie Adams winning this one to level it up here. Bit more pedigree to him, 2 Rangers men here.
Yeah, 2. I mean, Morris Edu, he had that winning goal at Ibrox for Rangers in the Old Firm derby. But Charlie Adams played for Liverpool, and that's hard to beat.
What a left foot. Right, next one. Number 10 seed, Malik Tillman against Lewis Ferguson.
This is an interesting one, but Lewis Ferguson just takes it, I think.
I mean, Lewis Ferguson, he's flying. Two players doing well on the continent, but Lewis Ferguson, just a little bit of a cut above, I think.
Exactly.
He's the one getting linked to big moves as well, so...
Exactly. And Malik Tillman starting in the Champions League, but just loses out to Lewis Ferguson. 2-1 Scotland.
2-1 Scotland.
And 9th seed, we've got Brad Friedel up against Alan McGregor.
Brad Friedel takes this one to level up for America. Look, Premier League quality for years and years, Brad Friedel. Can't argue that.
Yeah, Alan McGregor, he's up there as a fantastic goalkeeper, but Brad Friedel just nicks this one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, McGregor had a great career, Premier League as well, but maybe not with the same consistency that Brad Friedel did. Solid set of hands there. 8th seed, we've got, they say Weah. Timothy Weah, James Forrest. A Celtic taste of this one.
This is a really interesting one. We've debated this one, Callum. Quality wingers.
James Forrest, at his pomp, was a top quality player, as is Weah, of course, now.
Exactly, but James Forrest has all the trophies. Timothy Weah, maybe not so many. Who do we go for? I think they've halved this whole. What do you reckon?
I'll go for that as well.
Yeah, half points for Timothy Weah and James Forrest.
Okay, half points. It's a draw, obviously. Where he's on his way up, but Forrest has had the career, so.
Exactly. 7th seed, we've got Anthony Robinson and Kieran Tierney.
Comfortably, Kieran Tierney for me. On his day, one of the best left backs around the Premier League. Fitness hasn't been on his side. Anthony Robinson's a great player as well, but Kieran Tierney, he's picking up the points here for Scotland, I think.
Yeah, no doubt about it. 6th seed, Callum.
Yeah. So what's our scores so far, Fraser?
Good question.
So it's 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, 2-2, 2.5, 2.5.
3.5.
3.5, 2.5. So Scotland's leading by 3.5 to 2.5 at this moment in time, but that could all change in a heartbeat. We're on to our 6th seed, which is Giovanni Reina against John McGinn.
I think. Sorry, I've messed that up. That's quite bad. But there's only one winner here. We're Scotland fans, laced with bias, but John McGinn.
Gio Reyna sort of dropped off the face of the earth a little bit in his career progression. John McGinn, though, he's done far from that. You know, a Ballon d'Or winner. Unofficially. Brilliant player for club and country, John McGinn.
Exactly. Maybe his dad might have put on more of a fight.
Maybe he would have done, but
John McGinn wins this one.
Right, on to the 5th seed. Is it my turn to reveal one? Is it?
I'm not sure.
It's no, it's your turn. It's your turn.
So we've got Bob Bradley.
Bob.
We've got Bob Bradley.
No, that's his dad.
Oh God! What's his?
Michael.
Michael,
of course it is.
Oh my God! No, we don't have Bob Bradley. We've got Michael Bradley against Scott Brown.
Given this is Michael Bradley.
Controversial, Callum, as an Ayr United fan. I'm not sure I agree, but what a pedigree.
We've got the battle of the big baldies in midfield here. These two boys love to tackle, but I'll tell you what, Michael Bradley played at some level. You could argue Scott Brown could have played at a higher level as well if he wanted to, but we are talking about him that did it for Roma, Borussia Mönchengladbach, and his dad, what a manager as well.
Yeah. 151 caps for the US men's national team. Not bad.
Not bad at all. Brad Bobley, his dad as well. Iconic.
Brad Bobley. 4th seed.
The 4th seed is Landon Donovan against Kenny Miller.
This is interesting. We love Kenny Miller. What a player he was for all 20 clubs that he played for. But Landon Donovan nicks this one.
Yeah, obviously, Landon Donovan. Little jinky attacker. We talk about Scott Brown. We've knocked him for not moving on too much, but Landon Donovan was a legend where he did it, and he stepped into Europe, showed he could do it at Everton a little bit as well when he wanted to as well. But what a legend as well, and edges out Kenny Miller here, you'd say.
Exactly. Yep.
All right.
Me.
You.
And the 3rd seeds, we've got Tim Howard against Craig Gordon.
Tim Howard. I mean, you're talking about one of the most consistent Premier League goalkeepers you probably had in the Premier League era, the last 15, 20 years. Tim Howard, such a solid goalkeeper. Craig Gordon could have done a lot more. Didn't have the best luck with injuries, but for Everton, Tim Howard is always the safest pair of hands.
Yeah, we love Craig Gordon, and definitely one of the best saves in Premier League history, but Tim Howard did it across almost a decade or more.
100%. Right, we move on to the 2 seed. Christian Pulisic or Scott McTominay?
It's only one winner for us. He's potentially going to win the Ballon d'Or. He's a McFratima in Napoli, Scott McTominay.
We've got 2 young men. They've gone to Italy and, they've done bits there as well. But Scott McTominay has gone over it and he's conquered Italy. One of the finest in Europe at this moment in time. What he's done for the national team as well, phenomenal. Nothing against Pulisic, but McTominay, we give him the edge here.
Yeah, anyone that comes into the same bracket as Diego Maradona is a bit of a baller.
100%. Right, we're all levelled up here then, Fraser. It comes down to the final decision. It is, we're on 5.5 to the USA and 5.5 to Scotland. Who's going to come out on top? The 1 seed. We're on to our captains.
The captains, and it's Clint Dempsey against James McFadden.
A battle of the captains here, let me tell you. But the winner is going to be Captain America, Clint Dempsey. Just edges that one out.
Yeah, that one hurts us to say, but Clint Dempsey, Europa League final with Fulham. Goals aplenty for the US men's national team. James McFadden did it for Scotland, but he never did it on the international stage or at World Cup or a major tournament. So Clint Dempsey just edges it for us.
For years and years and years, just a top quality operator in the English Premier League. Probably gets him that edge, doesn't it? So the USA come out on top.
Damn. Hopefully.
Damn.
We've just lost out, but hopefully Bob McIntyre can lift the Ryder Cup for the real Ryder Cup. Next week.
Yeah, I mean that was fun going through some of the all-time USA players in there as well. Yeah. Some players missing out. Dante Polvara.
Yeah, exactly. Emerson Heinemann against Ryan Gold could have been another good match.
Gideon Zalalem.
Yeah.
James Sands.
Oh
James
my
Sands.
God. It was there was absolutely no structure or no real sort of criteria to what we chose there. We just kind of went with what we felt. But
if you didn't know the Ryder Cup was on next weekend, you do now.
Exactly. So, that's how the captains do it. They pick whoever they want.
Yeah.
Except from the players that qualify. But that was good fun.
Brilliant. Really enjoyed that.
Come on, Europe.
3 challenges. Good way to round this off, I think.
Exactly.
Fraser, got any final notes?
None at all. I think that's us. It's been another fun one.
Fun as ever.
And yeah, hopefully we'll be back next week bigger and better than ever.
Bigger and better than ever. So thoroughly enjoyed this episode as well, and hopefully everyone that watched it enjoyed. And check out last week's episode. Dylan Neeson, Lewis Stevenson as well was big time. You recovered from that?
Just about, yeah. It's a wee bit humbling to come back to these 4 walls and record when we could be sat at Starts Park, but that's okay.
This is the bread and butter.
Yeah, this is the bread and butter. We've got to do this so that we enjoy the highs when they come.
Well, I've enjoyed it as ever, and if you enjoyed, please drop a like, subscribe, and back next week for more content. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Joga Bonito is.
It's finito.